everybody. Welcome back. How you all doing? It's good to see you all again. This is great. It's fantastic. Spliff. Okay, I'm going to stop using made-up words. Today we're going to talk about game launchers and why you really need to stop freaking out over them. I remember years ago when Steam first made the scene. It was, 9-10 years from now, I think? Maybe older than that? Steam's been around for a pretty long fucking time. And that's mainly all it was for a really long fucking time. Just Steam. If there was a game that you wanted to purchase, you go to Steam. And it had everything. It was a special kind of DRM where you could play the game and you wouldn't have to worry if Steam went down that you couldn't play it anymore. It had achievements, and then later on, it impressed everyone with sexy cloud saves. So if you had to reinstall your operating system, or if you bought a new computer and you're installing a fresh copy of Steam on there, you wouldn't have to worry about your save files, because as you downloaded the game, if it used Steam's cloud save service, which many of them do, there's still a few that don't, by the way, the save file would just be down there with it. You'd be like, okay, here's the base game, here's your save file, knock yourself out. You could just pick up where you left off. Despite some of the shortcomings that Steam has had of late, it has made a lot of good strides in being one of the best game launchers and one of the best game portal services. But as with anything, some people get a little tired of the same old thing and they want something different. So it was like, okay, Steam sucks because it's doing this, this, and this, and that, and that. I'm not okay with this. I want options. I want something different. So then you had all these other services pop up. Good Old Games, which is, I'm going to tell you right now, Good Old Games, excellent place for the retro scene. You have no idea. I have at least 104 games. Most of them I got for free. Many of them were gifted to me. It's a good place to get the games. It's just fantastic. Seriously. GOG.com, yes, it's good. And they recently had their own launcher like a year afterwards, and it became popular, called GOG Galaxy, where you could download all your games and you could use their launcher to access them. You could look at your library. You could even buy some inside the launcher, just like with Steam. Good times. When everyone, back then had like the choice of, okay, you got Steam and GOG, and before that you had EA's Origin, and then you had Uplay, and then that kind of branched out to Glyph, and then Itch.io, and Game Jolt, and then Epic. There are a lot of games, a lot of game portals and platforms, because a lot of the developers and the people who sell these games and the people who like to open up their own stores and shops and stuff so you can buy these games, and of course have their own launchers now. And as I kind of expected would happen, it's now come to a point where people are sick and tired of all these different multiple launchers that they have to get. Their games are not on the same platform. Oh, and here's one that really just kind of stings a little bit. They want it to have cloud save, and they want it to have features similar to that of Steam. I actually tweeted about this earlier today, and the short and skinny of it was, Steam sucks, we want options. Nowadays, it's like, okay, there's too many options, centralized, let's bring it down to one little thing. And then there's even more people who are saying, this platform is terrible, be more like Steam. So ultimately, people, I think, just don't really know what the fuck they want, or more effectively, they're just kind of, how do I describe it? They have all the features that they need for the games that they want to buy, but because they're listening to jaded people who just don't like the platform for reasons that really ultimately don't have anything to do with us, the consumer, and are kind of irrelevant, they want to try something different. They want it to change, but they want it different and not the same. If that makes any sense. I'm trying to digest this as best as I can here. I think, to put it even simpler, hope I can do this, third time's the charm. They want something new from Steam, but they don't want the same old shit from Steam. And said shit really didn't matter in the first fucking place. And it really doesn't. Because people, they don't like the fact that they're handling review bombing. They don't like the fact that you need an authenticator app if you want to make Steam trays. They don't like the fact that they've changed the API to do certain things. There's so much that people don't like about Steam, but these changes are necessary if Steam wants to, continue to be Steam. From a developer's point of view, it's probably not a good idea on the indie scene to have a game, because some people kind of review bomb you and stuff, and review bombing was a big issue, and the way that they handled that I thought was great. I really do. I thought that was fantastic how they did that. Some people, of course, don't, but it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you're the end consumer. Your objective is not to give a flying fuck about the small, silent, tainty, dainted shit. Your objective is to be able to, 1, download your game, 2, play your game anytime you want, and 3, should you need to restart your machine or whatever, refresh it, put in a new clean installer if you're getting a new computer, you should be able to download your game, install the game along with the save file. That's it. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. That's all that generally you should be giving a flying fuck about. But no. Instead, you have jaded people who are focusing on all the little stuff that was annoying and frustrating. It's not even a new phenomenon, what we're seeing here. This whole, I hate Steam, but I love it at the same time. I want something different, but not Steam, but yet it should be like Steam, but not. This back and forth that we've got going on, this is not anything new. This is not new at all. One of I remember a game that I used to play a very long time ago, Ghost in the Shell First Assault. That game got sunset a couple of years back. It was a really fun game. That's kind of sad. You have a really fun game that just goes the way of the dodo. You know, goes into that sunset and never to be seen again. And there were lots of people when that game was around who hated the game, but liked it, but at the same time wanted something new, but didn't like what it was doing, but they wanted something similar to what they didn't like. In this case, Counter-Strike Go. Yes, the good old-fashioned CSGO. There were lots of players who did the same toxic shit in CSGO, who tried to do it here in First Assault, because they wanted something different, but at the same time similar. And it wasn't. So they were complaining about the thing that was different, because it wasn't similar to something that they were used to, but at the same time they didn't want, but still wanted in a sense, you know? I played this game because it's not CSGO, and I'm looking for something other than CSGO. What I want the features that CSGO has in the game that isn't CSGO. You know, now that I've said that out loud, I'm just mainly confused. I have legit confused myself. It's one hell of a thing. The whole point is that if there's a game that you like playing and you want some changes to be made, just go to the developers. Review bombing a game that they made in the past really doesn't do anything. It just shows that you're a dick. That's how I feel about that. Seriously, for real, straight up. I don't think that you should review bomb a previous game that a developer made just to get their attention for a game that you want to play, that you're currently playing, that's currently out there, and you don't like what's happening with it. Just contact the developers. It's like some kind of lazy disconnect between the gamer and the developer. You know, gamers are quick and easy to complain and bitch about stuff, but when it comes to trying to resolve the issue, they just can't be casual about it. How hard is it to contact the devs and say, hey, this feature needs improvement, this feature's not working, this feature just isn't necessary, there's some things you need to improve upon. Now, thankfully, there are gamers who will do that. They'll go to the proper channels, and they'll say to developers, hey, this game sucks, here's why, here's how you could fix it, here's what should be fixed, here's what you guys need to work on. And there are times where it actually genuinely works. Developers are like, hey, you know what, you're right. That's not working like it should. We can do this better. So you sit tight, and we're going to work on this, and we're going to fix it. And that happens a lot, not just with the AAA titles, but also with indie developers. A good example, Slain, Back from the Dead. When that game first came out, not first came out, but more like when it premiered, but previewed, like a demo and shit, and the trailer, the teaser trailer, everyone was enchanted with that game. It looked good, it looked amazing, there was hacking and slashing, and the graphics looked great, and there was blood everywhere and shit. It's a good game. I have it on my library. I haven't played it yet. I should. I really should. Oh god, I should. But the thing was is that when it first came out, I was kind of hesitant because there was a huge problem. The first thing it had, lag. So much input lag. Controllers did not work. It just felt like there was such a delay with everything. It was sluggish. There were times where it crashed. It had some pretty basic problems. But did the developers say, fuck you, this is what you got, deal with it, give us the money? No, they didn't say that. Instead, they were like, hey, we see there's a problem with this game. We hear you, so we're going to work on it. And about 3 months later, holy shit, did they fix it. Controller support was finally fixed. Input lag was no longer a thing. They even added additional content to this game. So it went from Slain Back from the Dead being a piece of shit to Slain Back from the Dead. Holy shit, you guys fixed it, and I thank you for that. You listened. And it went from being mostly negative to very positive in like a handful of days because they had fixed the game. That's what you're supposed to do. If there's a game that has features that aren't working, if there's just something that isn't working out, you just tell them and say, hey, this isn't working. You need to fix this. It's better than review bombing. But getting back to the point of the whole game installers thing, yes, there are many. But that's a good thing, because I believe that it's good for a gamer to have options. You know, the way I see it, the way that I deal with it, don't download an installer unless you actually plan on playing that game. Every installer that I have on there, and I've got quite a bit, they all have games that I intend to play or are playing off stream or are playing on stream. They all have that. And another thing, they're not all running when the computer starts. That's the thing that a lot of people do. There's some people that I know who actually do that. I was reading on a Reddit post, what was it, like 6 months ago, where someone said, my computer is sluggish and I can't figure out what's wrong with it. I managed to download some game installers recently, but that can't be the case, could it? So they asked me to take a screenshot of all the installers he had. He had installers on there that even I hadn't heard of, and they were all starting when the computer starts. Someone told him to turn it off. Turn off all the installers and just, have them run when you're ready to run them. Do not run them when the computer starts, when Windows boots up. And he did it, and it was like, wow, that's so much better. Why did that happen? People do some strange things to PCs, man. So just the strangest shit. So strange. Installers should, for lack of a better purpose, be something that you enjoy having on your computer. It's something that you should just be happy with. This whole idea of now we want to have it in just one little spot, that's not going to be a thing anymore. It's just not. We've evolved from that. If you want that to be a thing, you're either going to have every single company that you don't like doing their own independent thing come back and merge into one centralized area. Or, in this case, put their games back on Steam and that'll be the end of it. But that's not going to happen, because you've got people who like Steam, and you've got people who don't. Just like you got people who like GOG, and people who don't. EA, Uplay, Glyph. Why did I get the Glyph installer? I don't remember. Anyway, everyone has variety. You don't need to get every single installer. That's not what you need to do. And you don't need to deprive yourself of ones that you actually need. Just get the ones that you want. Be a boss with this shit. Now, if you really want to have all your installers kind of worked out into one place, do what I did a long time ago. Create a folder on your desktop called Game Launchers. Take every single game launcher, their startup icons, put them into that folder. Make sure that they are not set to start when Windows starts, and there you go. That's it. It's just simple configuration. That's all you have to do. But this whole notion of, I don't like this one because this platform sucks, and this, that, and the other, and they're doing things that are really irrelevant to me, and they are irrelevant. Believe me when I tell you. The people bitching about this stuff, it's monumentally irrelevant, okay? And unless you're a developer or someone who is working on the platform themselves, you have some kind of business model going with said platform, the vast majority of this shit is completely irrelevant to you. Because as a gamer, all you want to do is play games, and you want to spend money on good games. And if you have to go to another platform to get that game, fine, go ahead. You don't have to buy 2 copies of it if you don't want to. Just go with what works for you and just have fun, man. Just chill. Just be that guy. Just sit back and be like, God damn it, I am playing a good-ass game, and this is on one of these platforms, and it's just, I'm having a ball. That's what we need to do. We need to get rid of the excessive amount of jadedness. Is that a word? I think it is. That's in the gaming community, you know? And we should just get back to the core basic of things, which is just enjoying a great game. We see a game, it looks good. Can we buy it? Yes, let's buy it, and let's play it. If it's not that good, can we get a refund? I think so. Go right ahead. Or, just don't play it anymore. I don't know. If the game sucks, don't get the game. If it's on a platform you're not ready to get, you can wait until it appears somewhere else, or just break down and get it when you're ready. But let's get back to the basics here. We're gamers. We game. Some for hobby, some for a career, some for business, and mainly, most importantly, just for fun. Let's get back to the fun, guys. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back to the fun. And that concludes this lovely podcast. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Feel free to add this podcast to your subscription wherever you listen to your podcast. It's just about everywhere, even iTunes. Yes, they let this weird, crazy motherfucker on iTunes. Who'd have thought? If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch, on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/GodOfKnockers, go ahead and drop a comment in chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. So you guys take care, you have fun, play some games, and it was really nice talking to you. Laters.
Put your hands up,